show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, welcome. What's going on? Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? It's your boy. It's your dog. It's your player partner as always. It's your Doc Holiday. We back with another HBCU tonight. And it's a midday special, of course. Why? Because a brother got to go to work today at 4 o'clock. So I'm bringing y'all my show at noon, and we are here in the house where Doc Holiday built. And as always, I'll be your huckleberry for today. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like this stream. Make sure that you comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you donate to the channel in order for me to keep doing this every day. Donate to the channel. Shout out to my guy Jay Tisdale with bringing me the fire intro. Hopefully this does not get copyrighted. If so, then we're gonna have to switch with something else as far as where the music goes. But I like the actual intro. I asked him if to help me out. So he did. And I'm gonna give my guy tenfold as far as promoting him. So this is my guy Jay Tisdale. If you don't know who Jay Tisdale is, he's on Twitter. He comes out with the ridiculous, the crazy videos from especially from Pinata Farms. He does that all the time. And I like what he does. So if you want to get something done as far as videos done, he has done one for me. He done one for my guy Josh Sims with HBCU Nightly. Shout out to them. And basically, we gonna bless my guy tenfold right here. And I ain't getting sponsored by nobody. I ain't getting sponsored by no Arizona, so I got my Arizona right here. Make sure you give me some, I want to get some money on this thing. But we got a good show for you today. But first, before we do that, we got to go ahead and pay homage to my sponsor, Merch Sports, shopmerchsports.com. Make sure y'all go ahead and check out the Black College Football Fan Club collection, the Hoops Gods and Goddesses collection. But I'm about to hit this commercial. Be right back.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive. And I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
And we are back. Where's my air horn at? Where's my. Gotta have the air horn coming up in here, coming back into this thing right here. Um, so I got some things to talk about. We got a lot of things. Well, we got a lot of things to pack in, probably within an hour and a half of this show. Because, like I said, I do have to get ready to go to work today at 4 o'clock. So, of course, as you already know, I'm on the bus to get to work. So, I am a regular. I'm a regular ass dude. I'm a regular dude that goes to work, do what he do, come home, relax, chill out, um, play a few games, be in my in my various group chats that I'm in, and just be vibing out and chilling out. So that's the reason why today I'm doing the show early. Any other time, I'm doing a show at my regular 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So uh, make sure y'all be on a watch for that this weekend. I am going to be off this weekend, so you'll be able to catch me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I do got to work tomorrow, but you'll be able to catch me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I might have a little treat for y'all on Saturday if the Lord blesses me, um, or even y'all bless me. So of course it is February the 28th in the year of our Lord 2024. It is supposedly the last day, but because we got one of them things that come every 4 years, it's a leap year, y'all. So shout out to all the leap year babies. To the leap year babies out there. First and foremost, let me get this string going right here. Let me get this one going. First and foremost, I want to send a very special happy birthday to none other than Tiffany Dawn Sykes, AD of FAMU, Florida A&M. I ain't gonna guess your age. You probably in the same age range as me, but I'm not gonna guess it. But your birthday was just today. I didn't get a chance to do a show. I did hit you up. I did send a birthday shout out to you on Twitter yesterday. But I want to send a very special birthday shout out to AD Sykes from the Overdrive family. We wish you another trip, another year around the sun, and hopefully you had a good birthday celebration, nothing crazy going on, and pretty much hopefully that you are enjoying a prosperous birthday. I just want to put that out there. Uh, so next thing on our list we got coming up before we get into the most important things. We got the CIAA tournament going on right now in Be More today. Let everybody know what's going on. That I did get word today that Winston-Salem State took I ain't gonna say a huge L, but it was a surprising loss to Bluefield State this morning. And so let me go ahead and get into those scores right there, because I want to make sure everything goes goes well. So what we got going on? So I just need to know what the scores were. Let's do a tournament roundup from yesterday. Bowie State men advance. Bluefield State women make history. Bluefield State women basically won the first conference game, tournament game yesterday against Livingstone College, 59-56. So they advanced today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern to take on Fayetteville State, who is the top seed in the South, in the CIAA South. Today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Also on the docket, we got another thing. St. Augustine's women advanced in the tournament yesterday also. And then we're going to segue into that, where they defeated Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, 64-52. They will take on Elizabeth City State, who is the number one seed in the North Division, at 2:20 today, in which that will be in an hour Eastern Standard Time. And also on the men's side, let me see what we got on the men's side. Shaw women winning overtime. Johnson C. Smith women take down Winston-Salem State. And then we're going to the men's side. Bowie State men hold on to a 3-point victory over Livingstone College, 69-66. This was in the first round of the CIAA tournament, which the tournament started yesterday. Basically, they said besides what the score was, the game, Bowie did not trail in this game for the whole time. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So they advance and bring their record to 12-16 right now for today. So they take on Fayetteville State today at 6:40 p.m. in the quarterfinals. They take on Fayetteville State in the quarterfinals today at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Let's see what else we got going on over here. We got Elizabeth City State. They squeaked by victory over Shaw University. This puts their record at 11-18, and they will take on Lincoln University in the Wednesday night, the nightcap today, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But of course, the big news today, from what I heard, was Winston-Salem State losing to Bluefield State. And women, I think it was women today, this morning. And hey, it is what it is. And it's so good that the tournament is thriving in Baltimore. So I don't see them moving that tournament in the foreseeable future. I would say that Charlotte kind of dropped the ball on this. You want it back, you better you better get on your hands and knees and say please, please, please to bring it back. But I don't think they're going back to Charlotte anytime soon. So from what I'm looking at with the videos and pictures from Twitter and everything, it is thriving in Baltimore. The tournament is thriving in Baltimore. So um, we, we shall see how this plays out. Before we get into some more, topics, let me go ahead and give y'all the rundown as far as what. Follow me on all social media platforms. Be right back.
It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also, you can get birthday shoutouts on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal, David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle, David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel. Now,
we are back. We are back. We are back. Let me get finished. Fix this. Should have did this last night, but oh man, so we got a lot of things going on. So man, let's get back into it. We're gonna stay into it with the sports, y'all. We're gonna stay with the sports. First of all, shout out to the men's basketball team from Mississippi Valley State on getting their first win on Monday against Prairie View. Hard fought game. Very, very hard fought game. And if you've seen it, they did. It was a mini rush to court on Monday. It was at home. So basically this puts Mississippi Valley at 1-27 overall, 1-14 in the SWAC. Even though they are mathematically eliminated from the SWAC tournament, this still is a good thing to see. As far as the Delta Devils getting their first win on Monday. So it did what makes it so crazy. It was a miniature court storming, and for the fans stormed the court, and then once they were like, oh, the police is coming right now, so they basically celebrated on the court for a second, and then they went back into their seats in the stands. And basically, it was one of them things. It was one of them things. It was good to see. And then yesterday, I when I'm at work, and especially when I'm at work, and especially if I'm on the sales floor, it don't even matter where I'm at. I always have an earbud in my ear. I listen to podcasts. I listen to other folks' podcasts. When I'm talking about big name podcasts like Paul George, the OGs with which is a new one with Udonis Haslam and Mike Miller. Of course, All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steve Jackson. My favorite podcast right now, The Raw Room with Darren Bates and Jalen Collins and King Dunlap. And who else do I listen? Who else do I listen to? Who else do I listen to and watch when I'm at work? Trying to figure out who else do I listen to. Oh, Knuckleheads podcast. I listen to them. The Kelsey Brothers with New Heights. I listen to a lot of podcasts. But yesterday I listened to Gil's Arena. That basically Gilbert Arenas with him, Brandon Jennings, Mashad McCants, Dallas' very own Kenyon Martin. I listened to them, and when I listened to them yesterday, they had brought up the thing about the fans storming the court, right? They brought up things about the fans about storming the court, and you know what happened with Duke and Kyle Filipowski injuring his knee. A fan ran into his knee, injured his knee in a storming of the court during that game. But they brought up Mississippi Valley, and you know, I sometimes I be like, hey, we a black school, you know what I'm saying? We don't do, we don't really do too much stuff like that. We don't. But when it gets to the point where we need to, and we are just that enthusiastic, we need to run that bit. But they did bring them up. They did highlight the color commentators for Valley. One Andre Williams and one Caleb Brunson. So now, this is what I know about those two. Both of them are valid. Well, both of them did graduate from Valley. Caleb Brunson is actually on the football coaching staff. He's a grad assistant on the football coaching staff with Coach Wade. Both of them, if you read both of their bios, both of them are noobs. Uncle said they both are noobs. So, and I just like their energy when they talk. You know, when they call the game, even if it's in defeat, I just like the type of energy that they bring when they call the games. Especially on, especially when they at home. When they at home, I love it when they call the games. You can always tune in because why? It's on Valley Sports Network. I think it was free on YouTube, but now they got a paywall to where you can stream some of their game. You can basically stream the games and stuff like that. But in my defense, I do support all HBCUs, big or small, indifferent, doesn't matter. But got a word today from one of my moderators, and they was like, "Hey, you need to go ahead and get those two guys on the podcast." Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, "Hey." Like, hey, I reached out to them. Hopefully they can get back with me, and we can get this casual conversation going on, and how they have became You could say overnight sensations. I would say that. And yes, Whitley, if I'm bored, I'm jumping on. Ooh, if it's my guy Jency, I know Jency don't mind me jumping on the show. I need something to buy my time to where I won't lose my mind at work if it's bored, especially if I'm working till midnight, from 10 to midnight. Mm-mm. It's slow, it's boring. I be wanting to fall asleep, so I gotta get my podcast fixed. Just just like how people get their coffee fixed and stuff like that, I gotta get my podcast fixed. It's so crazy because once I've been been in this thing right here, been in the podcast world, it'll be 2 years in May. I have to get my podcast fixed. Ma'am, I be bored at work because okay. We're gonna do a little bit of story time before we jump into the more serious topics. All right, I be bored at work, so if I work if I work the evening shift and at Walgreens, that's where I work at. It's 4 to midnight, and we close at midnight. We got some Walgreens stores that are open 24 hours a day. I'm not gonna be at one of those. I'm not gonna be at that type of store right there. I value my sleep. I value my time at home. I value my TV time. So, but when I'm at work from four to like maybe 9:30, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm chilling. I'm fine. I listen to other podcasts and everything, and I'm fine. I can't argue with that. But when when from after I take my last break around like 9:30, 9:40, um, when I come back in 10 o'clock, from 10 to midnight, it's boring. It's not, it's like no foot traffic coming in. So I, so I gotta get my podcast. I gotta get the fix. And so if anybody's there, if anybody's on and I just want to contribute or just to give my 2 cents or something like that, or just contribute to the conversation, I would jump on it. I would do my due diligence to jump on it. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Just like everybody, you can't help when you got your, some folks have a cigarette fix. Some folks have like I said, I have a coffee fix. I got a podcast fix and I got an Arizona fix. So hey, hey, I don't be bored when I get the check, but I be pissed because the check be gone. It's gone. It be gone, especially at this time. Cause why? Rent comes up the first of the month. I be I be pissed. I be very pissed when I see that the first check of the month come. Oh man, I got paid. You know what I'm saying? I see that direct deposit. I see that direct deposit coming in. And then I look in the next 30 minutes, that shit be gone. Like it's gone out out of my account. And I be like, you know what? This that bullshit. So I don't be bored when the check hit the direct deposit. I don't be bored when the YouTube check hit the direct deposit. I don't be bored when the donations flow in, to the channel. But when it comes to my regular paycheck, I get a sense of man, my hard work is paying off, and I want to try to enjoy some of my money during the first part of the month, and then reality sets in, and I'll be like, damn, can a brother catch a break? Can can a brother catch a break? Hey, Dukes. The first of the month comes so fast, bro, and especially since this month, like I said, it's a leap year, so this month has 29 days. When this month comes, February comes, it is the death of me because it's like, damn, it was just the first of February. Now it's the end of February. I'm like, come on now, come on, can I enjoy the fruits of my labor? Now, when my second check comes, get paid every 2 weeks. When the second check comes, that's kind of when I try to, um, I try to at least have some in the pocket to try to help stabilize me. But then again, you got bills. Can we all enter the adult transfer portal? Because I not know, just, hell, I've been paying bills since I was like 18, 19 years old. I not, I ain't want it to be this hard. Especially, I'm in my, being in my mid 40s and everything. I'm like, damn, can, can I enjoy at least being this age right here? What? What? Bills be left, right. I think when it comes to paying bills, when the bills come out, I'll just be thinking, it's like a song in my head. I got the song in my head. I got this one song in my head, and of course, yes, you already know it's going to return. It's going to refer being from Texas, basically being in Dallas. I have Big Tuck in my head, uh, talking about tussle. It's like the Bills be tussling with me. It is a it's a verse in the song where it's basically getting a play by play of how the Bills is whooping my ass. Left, right, left, overhand, hit a quitter. That's how it feels when the bills come out. That's how I feel when the first of the month come out. But I know at the time when the first of the month come, I gotta make sure I gotta have a roof over my head and stuff like that. But I do like the fact that where I stay in my apartment, we do have this thing called flex, where basically I can flex my first part of my rent. The they pay the other part, basically saying, "Hey, your rent is paid. You just pay us when you have when you have the money to pay us at a later date." So that's good for me. Long as I make sure that I have my rent is paid and I have a roof on my head, it's no issue, no issues at all. Now the only problem I have right now, the only problem I be having is like, hey, brother gotta get to work, so I ride the bus. I gotta make sure I have money in my pocket for the bus. Gotta make sure I have money to bring in food and stuff like that. So I try to do what I can, and you know, I try to do what I can when it comes down to stuff like that. And I do, been doing it. I'd say I do it by myself, but I've been having people, help me. Um, and I'm not gonna put them out there. I'm not gonna name names at this time, but they do help me, especially since Especially since, going back, being by myself and, kind of trying to navigate through this whole thing about a lot, just stuff going on. I appreciate the support, like, immensely. What's going on? What's going on, T? So it's one of the things where I'm not even going. You know, I don't take nothing for granted. All right, so hopefully we get back on the right track. And y'all know, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. So I had to talk with my boss at work today. I mean, the other day on Monday, and he is the type of person where if you got a passion and if you are doing what you love as your passion and everything, he's not gonna get in the way of your passion. And so he knows my passion is my podcast and I'm trying to jump into photography and everything. So I got pictures and everything on my camera. I just gotta print them out and stuff like that. But he said he would never get in the way of my passion. Even, when it comes to trying to move me up, it in the pecking order as far as being at work. I had no issues with that. So now, Mr. Haynes, me being a former store manager or former manager, I would never talk to anybody about a raise. I never talk to my boss about a raise. I would never tell my folks who I had managed. I would never tell them to talk about a raise. When the appropriate time comes, we talk about it. But at the time, we was talking about some other stuff, and he's understanding what my passion is. So this is my passion, and I want to go ahead and continue doing what I love to do, bringing y'all this good HBCU content, bringing y'all these stories about, me, my personal life, my kids and everything. And, being out there to where I can give y'all all this good stuff and just be appreciative of it. I don't think some people are appreciative of what we do out here, and it's hard. You think it's easy, but it's hard work when you do this stuff. And I ain't saying I'll do this by just strictly by myself. I do have a team that backs me up at every moment whatsoever. One of them is in the chat, Miss Witt. She always back me up, even though she be talking about, boy, you jump on everybody's podcast. Y'all, you gonna mix something about Texas. You're damn right. You're damn right. But we're gonna get into some story time with Doc after we come from get to the meat and potatoes of this stream today. So let's hit that commercial break again, and we'll be right back as always.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get it. One more thing before we jump into some serious topics. Jackson State names its defensive coordinator. So I always had debates about this. Who's gonna be the defensive coordinator? Since Coach Bradley took his talents down to Mobile to South Alabama to be to be the defensive line coach with Major Applewhite. So we always thought about who's going to be the new defensive coordinator. And I said this, I put it like this. I say hire from within. And basically that's what TC and Ashland they did. They did that yesterday. Terezzo Quinn, who was the co-defensive coordinator and the defensive backs coach for Jackson State last season, he is now being promoted to the head man of the defense. So, what up, story? What up? So, what does this mean for JSU's defense coming up in the new season? What this means is hopefully we don't see the 3-3-5 defense. Hopefully he can go to a traditional 4-2-5. But don't know what his type of defense he's gonna run. But we talking about a guy that took over the defensive backs coaching position that was held for the last 3 years by Kevin Mathis. Of course, he's Dallas Cowboys. I ain't gonna say great, but he's a former Dallas Cowboys player. Basically, him and Dion ran together for running together for over 20 years. But we talking about a guy, we went from Kevin Mathis, where we didn't really get too many picks in the defensive backfield. I think we only got probably like, in total, I think we got like 12, in 12, if I'm not mistaken, probably like 10 to 12 picks in those 3 years that he was the DB coach. But then when we get Coach Quinn, who came from Alcorn, and we saw what his DBs did to our receivers in the last Soul Bowl before before Prime took his talents to Boulder, we saw what he did. He gets to Jackson, and not only did he just turn everything around, going from strictly man-to-man defense to more of a zone defense. As far as in the defensive backfield, he did add a little bit of press coverage into it, but we led the FCS for majority of the season with 14 interceptions as a team. So you getting, first season he comes in as DB coach, you get a guy like Jaheim Hazel. Shout out to that young bull right there. Did his thing at the Legacy Bowl. You get guys like Isaiah Guthrie, who really is a cover safety, but he played more in the box last season. But that also brought out the emergence of a B.J. Washington as a safety. They brought out the emergence of a Tim Stewart as safety. Of course, you got you had your stalwarts that was there last season, the season before, in Keith Wiggins and Jalen Hughes. So you basically went from being straight up man to man to a zone attack scheme, and you led the whole nation in SES in interceptions, and also led them in pass. I think it led them pass breakups too. So I got to look at the stats a little bit more. But what does this mean for JSU defense? Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we go to a 4-2-5, a traditional 4-man front. Um, he's going to bring in he's going to get his own way of doing defense. We got to give him time. We had to give him time to make sure we develop, we get that defense developed, and hopefully, and basically we get the players to come in and buy into his system. I think last season when Bradley was DC, I think the players it took some time as far as on the D line and the front excuse me, the front six / front seven to kind of get adjusted to what Bradley was doing as far as with uh getting pressure to the quarterback, attacking, blitz schemes, coming in with linebacker play. So I think it took a little bit of time, and then later on down the line, as you see the games go and go and go, the defense progressed instead of regressed. The only thing that kind of regressed was the linebacker play, because our linebackers really couldn't do too much of anything. We had some players that was playing really out of position last season. On the linebacker core, you have some players that play out of position on the defensive line. Um, so hopefully, what we have that came in during early signing period and National Signing Day, also kids that coming into the portal after the spring game, will determine how this defense is going to look for 2024. Will we be able to match what we did as far as in the defensive backfield with the players that we have? I think we can. Will we be able to up the intensity with the front seven? We hope so. We hope so. We talking about a team the year prior, before Bradley took over, led the conference in sacks. The last 2 years, led the conference in sacks. So hopefully with Quinn coming in, whatever type of defense he's going to run, we as fans, as Jack State fans, of course, we have to be patient. We have to be patient. And if you talking about the true dark side defense, dark side defense, what I know back then, led the conference in sacks and interceptions and pass breakups and a lot of turnover, a lot of things in a lot of categories. All right. But we got, we got to be patient. And we got to make, he's going to have to make sure he get his guys in and they buy in to the whole program. And I feel like if some of the players don't buy into the program, I feel like Coach Quinn don't matter who you are, what your rating is, either you can sit on the bench or you can get cut. It's simple as that. Just very simple. Very, very, very simple as that. What's going on? Mr. Campbell. So we shall see what happens. But excuse me. Let's get into it. Let's get into it right now, y'all. Some things that's going on. We got trouble. It was one of our HBCUs. We got trouble at St. Augustine University. Now, St. Augustine is a private institution that's located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pretty much not too far from Shaw, not that far from NC State. Pretty much within the triad, Raleigh, Durham, Winston-Salem, if you put it just like that. I'm going to go ahead and get that article right now. So, this is from 11. This is from ABC 11, which is in North Carolina. This is their affiliate right there. $10 million missing from St. Augustine's financial records, new audit documents reveal. This is from Raleigh, North Carolina, WTVD. New financial documents obtained by the ABC 11 I team show a recent audit revealed money mismanagement at St. Augustine University. The report shows the HBCU has had issues with money mismanagement for years. In fact, the university is expected to find out Tuesday if it will remain an accredited institution. So that happened yesterday. We'll jump into that. The audit shows during the 2021 fiscal year, the university had $10 million that was listed as unsupported. This term is used for money documented by an auditor that's been spent and that the university cannot account for in its records. According to the report, the university has policies in place that require authorization and approvals for wire transfers. However, this process is frequently circumvented and oftentimes disregarded. Another example of what auditors call money management is there have been instances where students paid their required charges, but the university did not appropriately record the charge on students' accounts. That has caused some students to receive inaccurate account statements showing that they owed money that in reality they had already paid. So basically what's going on is, y'all already know. We always gonna have some sort of issue when it comes to money. It's going to be one of those things where people are gonna say y'all mismanage money. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? The naysayers gonna say y'all mismanage money. Y'all stealing money. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. But it kind of look bad, like for real, where a student, Pell Grant, loan, whatever scholarships that they have, right? They pay it to the university. They pay it to the school, and the school is supposed to say, "Hey, this kid paid his money. Put it on this, put it on the account to where it basically say, hey, where it basically say, hey, we got his money, pay it, let it reflect on his account that your money has been paid." But if you're taking their money, and this is kind of saying this is, excuse me, y'all. I'm kind of giving it. I'm trying to give an example. I'm not saying that this is happening. I'm not trying to bash university whatsoever, y'all, because at the end of the day, I want our institutions to stay open, to stay afloat, to stay in the black. I want that. We want that. We want them to be there. We want them to be here. So it's basically it's saying like they owe money when like if you taking some of the money, if you taking their payments and you taking some of the money and putting it into other things where it's supposed to go to that student, it's gonna look funny on you. It's gonna look funny to say, well, where's this money at? Why is this not being accounted for the student? And then when the student look at their account and be like, I know I gave y'all such amount of money, and I know it's supposed to cover at least 80, 90, 95%, 99% of my of my tuition and everything. Where is it? Where is my money going? Students have the right to ask those questions. Parents have the right to ask those questions. And the way that this is looking, it's like some parents are going to be up in arms and they're going to say, well, and this is what's going to happen. I know we talked, Twitter been ablaze about this the last couple of days. Black Twitter, HBCU Twitter has been ablaze for the last couple of days. I'm not going to send my kid to this school. I'm not going to send my kid to another HBCU because they don't know what they're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like it's gonna reverberate back to the point where like our institution's about to get bashed again. And now we're back on the fence to try to say, hey, we're gonna try to take care of this, but don't bash us. Don't talk bad about us. Don't downgrade us. Don't look at us in a negative light. Because at the end of the day, your parents and your parents' parents went to one of our institutions because that's the only place that can get a good quality education from. And I'm just putting it just like that. A consultant told ABC 11 last week that documents such as audits would be considered as part of the accreditation appeal process. But at this time, we do not know if this documentation was presented to the recent appeals hearing by St. Augustine's University. Now, here we go with the payroll issues. The university has been facing payroll issues since February the 9th, which was, it's been that's about 2.5 weeks right there, y'all. When employees did not get paid. And you are so correct. It should be a school, it should be a St. Aug problem. If it's St. Aug needs to handle it. And it doesn't need to be spread to all HBCUs. You are so correct, bro. You are so correct. This led university leaders to hold a candlelight vigil as an attempt to build back up through hope and faith. The vigil aimed to show students and staff that there is a strong community around them. Now we go into the financial woes. ABC 11 uncovered documents on February the 16th, which was pretty much, well, about 2 weeks ago. All right. Just how bad the financial situation at the university is. For example, Wellfleet Insurance Company is suing the university, stating it breached contract by failing to pay premiums. The policy took effect in August 2021, and it was signed to cover student health insurance plans. Records showed the lawsuit was filed in August of 2023. It was filed last summer. Wellfleet says St. Augustine's owes it $439,000 after making partial payments of $240,000. ABC 11 also obtained a document that revealed in October of last year the university took out a $7 million line of credit with Arkansas-based bank Ozark. Burgess said the university only received $4.5 million of that money. Okay. Last Monday, Last Monday, Burgess said that it would be a challenge to get students to the tournament because of financial constraints. He told ABC 11 that the university's request for a loan from the bank was denied. We got denied because of the press, the negative press, said Burgess. The financial instability. Now, on one hand, it makes sense, right? We've got IRS problems. We got problems all over the place. Remember, I reported last time I was on here, that St. Aug had the IRS uh, is trying to get money recouped because they didn't file. They didn't file. So, when you file and you owe, you ain't got the money to pay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So then um, yesterday we got word on the street that St. Aug, their accreditation got revoked. They was denied their accreditation. Um, all right, so I'm about to go ahead and jump into this. Okay, if it's payroll tax for something else, I understand, but you still, when you file, if you ain't got it, what you gonna do? Yep. I remember I did say they had a lien from the IRS I think it was last week, and I did my show. They had a lien, $7 million lien from the IRS. Um, um, oh, excuse me. Got the burp. St. Augustine's University accreditation terminated. It hurts, alumni say. St. Augustine's University had its accreditation terminated today by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Board of Trustees. The university was on probation back in December. The Look, this is a long this is a long thing. The Southern Association of Colleges and Schools voted to remove St. Augustine's status as an accredited institution. On February the 20th, the school had an appeals hearing with the Board of Trustees. The committee that heard the appeal rendered this decision today. The appeals committee of the college delegate assembly unanimously affirmed the December 3rd, 2023 decision of the SAC-SCOC Board of Trustees to terminate the accreditation of St. Augustine's University, Raleigh, North Carolina. The appeals committee found the SAC-SCOC Board of Trustees decision to be reasonable, not arbitrary, and based on the standards cited, the decision began. The ruling has left students and parents confused and desperate for answers. It's very, very scary to me. I was hoping to graduate this year, but with the school and accreditation, I don't know what to do, student Nicholas Castro said. It's sad for our children, sad for us as people. It shouldn't have gotten to this point. Now we have to figure our way out of this, if there's a way out of this, parent Andrea Parham said. Representatives with St. Augustine said they disagreed with the board's ruling, saying they felt the decision was arbitrary, unreasonable, and inconsistent with the board's policies. We disagree with the decision made by the SAC, SCOC, and plan to appeal to a higher authority with evidence supporting the institution's progress in resolving noncompliance, said uh, interim president Dr. Marcus H. Burgess. He will we will move quickly to file a lawsuit against SAC, SCOC, seeking an injunction that, if granted, will allow St. Augustine's University to remain accredited with SAC, SCOC on probation for good cause until the conclusion of litigation. One major concern for students is financial aid because students at schools that are not accredited are not eligible to receive financial aid. That is a huge concern, as 85% of the university's student body receives financial aid. And also because this is a private school, so they have to get the same thing what we talked about back then last year with Bethune-Cookman. So going to it, legacy and danger. I grew up on the campus. My dad was the head of the science department for 30 years. I've had brothers and cousins graduate from there. It's been a legacy in our family. Benjamin Johnson graduated from St. Aug in 1983. His parents went to St. Aug too. That's how they met. So this is a backstory of how, the legacy of the school and the people that went there. When the three found out Tuesday that St. Aug had lost his accreditation, it was heartbreaking. The news hit Alexander especially hard as he lost his mother just the day before at the age of 95. Sorry to hear that. Condolences to you and your family. To hear this on top of my mother passing, she was a graduate and a very proud graduate of St. Aug's. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Alexander said, while the school is facing serious financial issues and now battle retains its accreditation, the love for the university just doesn't waver, even with the future remaining uncertain. And of course, we talked about as far as with the payroll issues. So, like I said, we've already talked about that. The financial woes, we talked about that also. Now, because St. Augustine is at the CIAA tournament in Baltimore, the first men's game of the 2024 CIAA basketball tournament was Monday night with St. Aug losing to Bluefield State. The women's team played today. So the St. Aug men lost to Bluefield State Monday night. The women actually move on to play today. Today. Last Monday, Burgess said that it would be a challenge to get students to the tournament because of financial constraints. He told ABC 11 that the university's request for a loan from a bank was denied. And then basically it was talking about we got RS problems, we got problems all over the place. So this is something that I remember this is something that me and Mr. Ford, we had talked about this a while, I think it was last year, with the issue with Bethune-Cookman. And we talked about that, and we was like, look, we don't need to have another issue like Morris Brown had. We don't need to have an issue what happened with Bishop College. We don't need to even have issues what we have with that happened with Payne and all these other schools that have actually closed. That have actually closed down. So we're very adamant about what about our schools, in a sense, trying to keep them up, trying to keep them open. And I'm gonna see what you said, bro. The reality of the situation is that people saw that situation was coming, given they was put on probation. That is correct. So what do you do to get yourself out of that situation? What do you do to get yourself out of that situation? I mean, for one, you have to come up with the money. But two, you gotta do, you gotta do right by the students. You gotta do right by the faculty, especially, with payroll issues. You're not paying the faculty, and then you're moving money from students' accounts, and it's reflecting on them. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. I'm not in the business of having our schools closed because of financial issues. I'm not looking into that. I'm basically looking to the point where what can we do to keep our institutions open and afloat? That's all I'm looking for. What can we do to keep our institutions open and afloat? And this is something that we're going to have to talk about later. And I have to get a panel. I need to get a panel. I ain't had a panel in a while. We need to get a panel about this and see what type of solutions we can come up with to fix the problem. So like I said, I am not in the business. I am not in the business of having stuff closed. I am not in the business of wanting to have accreditations getting ripped out, because we saw what happened with Morris Brown, and it took them 20 years to come back. And they're coming back slowly but surely, but it ain't really the same Morris Brown that we saw back in the 90s or so. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully everybody get their issues taken care of, or you probably won't have to clean house. But it also, it starts from the top, and it starts with the president, and it's an interim president. It starts with him. So we are going to take a quick break. Make sure that you hit the donation button. Make sure that you hit the like button, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. We'll be right back in less than a minute.
It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also, you can get birthday shoutouts on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal, David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle, David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket.
We are back. Get this next one up. Oh, now. So we about to get up into it. The next one on the list, before we get into it is, I want to get into this right here. North Carolina Central head coach Trey Oliver is fuming. I don't know why I said Terry Oliver. Let me switch that up. There we go. He is fuming. We talking about this man has been on a he was on a warpath on Twitter the other day, and rightfully so. I think he rightfully had a reason to be on the warpath. I got you up. We talking about Trey. Trey don't play when it comes to his student athletes. And he don't play when it comes to that man Davius Richard. So does he have an issue? Does he have the right to be mad about the play calling uh, during the Legacy Bowl? Uh, he has. He has every right, and especially if he was saying that uh, if he was at the practices during that week and he was at the game this past Saturday, he has every right to be upset, even though Davis is technically not a student athlete anymore. He is technically just an athlete. He's still at school. I know he graduates this year too, so he's still at school. But this is coming from HBCU legends. Excuse me. Trey Oliver criticizes coaches for the play call resulting in Davius Richards' ankle injury at the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Davius Richards, former head coach, has criticized the coaches of the HBCU Legacy Bowl for the play that injured the quarterback. North Carolina Central head coach Trey Oliver criticizes Legacy Bowl team Gaither's play call resulting in injury to Eagles quarterback Davius Richards. Oliver posted, "I promise he would not have played if I knew that those can I use this word that he used? Coaches were going to run him. He should never have left the pocket. You want to run, hand it off to those All-American backs. Make it make sense." And then he said Oliver clarified his position and thoughts with this social media post. So he came out with I think it was somewhat of an apology letter, but he stood on his laurels. He stood 10 toes down. "I would like to apologize for the language used in a previous tweet. That is not the example that I would like to set for my players, regardless of how strongly I felt and still feel about the situation. I support the Legacy Bowl and the opportunities it creates. However, coaches have to do what they can to protect the players. Doug and Shaq told the coaches early in the week not to run him. On Friday, I sat with the offensive staff and asked them not to run him as well. For whatever reason, the play was called. This is a minor setback for Davius. However, he is a warrior and will bounce back." Now, like I said, does he have a right to be upset? Especially when he's already told the coaches do not run him. And talked about this in our group chat. Davius had an ankle injury early this year when they played North Carolina A&T. He re-aggravated the injury when they went out to play UCLA. He was out for the rest of the game. He did not play against Valley in the Circle City Classic. He came back, and it seemed like he was, when his play was out there, he was hesitant, But we talking about Davis Richard. We talking about a kid now that is 6'3", 225 pounds, and is solid. But does Coach Oliver have a right to be upset? So Richard ran left on the play near the goal line and scored the first points of the All-Star game by plunging into the end zone. However, a defender twisted Richard and fell on top of him during the play, causing a dislocated right ankle. Artificial turf could have contributed to the injury as well. Now, the way I saw it, me being a Cowboys fan, it reminded me of when Dak dislocated his ankle, but also he broke his leg at the same time. Luckily, Davis didn't, his ankle, his leg was broken, but his ankle was dislocated. The issue with Dak was he popped that thing back into place, and it kind of made it even worse. What I'm hearing from about Davis, he's going to be out 4 to 6 months. So that means that whoever takes him as on their team, he's automatically going to be on injured reserve. It's a blow. It's a blow to him as far as being able to go through walkthroughs, but depending on how his body reacts to physical therapy, he might be back out there, not even within the 4 to 6 months. He might be out there about 3.5 months. You never know. If you want something so bad, you're gonna go all the way. You're gonna go balls to the wall to make sure that you get out there and you'll be able to perform. An artificial turf, and I'll put it just like this: it's a game of football. Grass, turf, concrete, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're gonna get hurt one way or the other. Does not matter. And if it's the turf, then it's the turf, and Tulane hasn't done anything with the turf since they actually opened up the school. The actual football stadium. It's on Tulane. You have a right to go after Tulane, but it don't matter if you play. It don't matter if you play on grass or on the street or on artificial turf or astroturf or in the clouds, some way or the other, you're going to get hurt. Doesn't matter. Reports have projected recovery time to be up to 6 months. Richard's rehabilitation timetable may delay his readiness for NFL training camps and put him at a disadvantage compared to other rookies who have already participated in mini camps and workout sessions. Richard had an impressive week at the 2024 All-State HBCU Legacy Bowl from the HBCU Combine on Monday through days of practice and the game's first drive, which resulted in the touchdown and his injury. Several NFL scouts were high on Richard's upside as a dual threat signal caller. One compared his ability to the late Alabama State quarterback and NFL player Tavares Jackson. That's a good comparison right there. No one knows how Richard's injury will affect his value in the 2024 NFL Draft. He remains a great prospect, and his momentary setback shouldn't discourage NFL teams from considering him in the draft or signing Richard as an undrafted free agent. And this is basically written by my boy Kyle T. Mosley. Check him out on Twitter under his name KT Moles. So, like I said, does Trey have an issue? Does he have a right to be mad? I think he does. He had every right to be upset about that. All right. Let's get into the last little bit of what we got for the show. Mississippi bill threatens to close 8 schools. Proposed bill goes to the Mississippi Senate. Mississippi University for Women, Delta State, and Mississippi Valley are proposed targets for 2028 closure. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. All right. And I'm about to read the Clarion Ledger. I don't know why I'm doing this. But anyway. Um, okay. I got you, EA. Make sure y'all hit up the cash app to keep the channel going. All right, Mississippi Senator wants to close 3 state universities by 2028, and you want to see why. IHL board following Mississippi Senate bill closely, IHL spokesman says. A bill, what's going on, Mr. Edwin? A bill has been introduced into the Mississippi Senate that will call for the closure of 3 state-funded universities by June 30th, 2028, which they'll be in 4 years. The bill, which was filed by Senator John Polk, who is a Republican from Hattiesburg, pretty much, last week, did not specify which of the state's 8 universities to close. The bill designates the Institutions of Higher Learning's Board of Trustees to close 3 universities. Choose 3 universities to close in 2028. The board will have to report to its decision to lawmakers by June 30th of 2025, which would be next year. The bill will also designate IHL to use factors such as enrollment data, degrees offered, economic impact, services offered, and any research that schools conduct serving the state to determine which schools would close. As of the start of the 2023 fall semester that began August, there were more than 77,000 students enrolled in the state's 9 public universities, according to an IHL enrollment report. Of them, the least 3 attended, according to IHL data from the fall, are Delta State University with 2,716, the Mississippi University for Women, which has 2,227 students, and Mississippi Valley State University, which reported 2,196. Once the IHL closes those schools, the bill proposes it would then move to sell those lands and buildings to nonprofits or gift them to other state agencies. Any research laboratories that are state-sponsored could also be given to other IHL schools or closed indefinitely. IHL spokesperson John Sewell told the Clarion Ledger the Board of Trustees is aware of the bill and is following it closely, but it does not have an official comment at this time. Polk did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the bill. And they're going to public university enrollment figures. Here is a look of fall 2023 enrollment figures by school according to the IHL. Mississippi State University has over 22,000. 22,657. Ole Miss, 21,596. University of Southern Mississippi, 13,110. Jackson State University, 6,564. UMMC has 3,100 students. Alcorn State, 2,894. Delta State, like I said, 2,716. Mississippi University for Women, 2,227. And Mississippi Valley, 2,196. And here's the whole thing, y'all. I laugh at this shit right here. Because y'all remember back then, this was 2009. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to tell you a story. I went back to Jackson State in 2009 for one semester. And I stayed on campus. And I remember the day where they talked about, this is when Dr. Mason was the president, they was trying to merge all three HBCUs into one entity and basically rename it Jacob State University. I'm like, what the hell going on? And so everybody, we came up with this campaign with the shirt and basically giving Haley Barbour the middle finger. Now, if I look, we know the three biggest schools in the state of Mississippi are Ole Miss, Mississippi State, USF. All right. Jackson State. I mean, you gonna have a battle to try to. You thinking you're gonna try to close Jackson State, but they are proposing. This is the target. The W, Delta State, Valley. Now, I would say this. There was a video yesterday, the Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann, and he said the two universities that need to stay open are important because they serve the region of the state. So the two universities he said they need to stay open is Delta State and Mississippi Valley. He said we need to continue funding these schools. I don't know how serious he was about this, but I think he was damn serious about this. But we need to continue to fund these schools because Delta State had to where they have a pilot program and Mississippi Valley literally serves the Delta. Like, there's no representation other than the JUCOs that is around the Delta, which is Holmes Community College, which is Coahoma up in Clarksdale, and Mississippi Delta Community College. There's no other major universities in the Delta. So, no, Alcorn don't have under 2,500. Alcorn has close to 2,900. Do we need do we need to close these schools? No. They serve a purpose. The last school that was closed, from my understanding, I remember this, was Mary Holmes. Um, yeah, the W can't decide on the name, but they need to. I mean, if you were founded as a women's institution, keep the name. That's what attracts people to come to your school. I, my oldest daughter, her mother started at the W. That's where I met her at. That's where I met her at. She has fond memories of being in Columbus. You know, when she was in school, we lived in Columbus. When Desiree was born in Greenville, we moved to Columbus so she could finish school. Unfortunately, she went back to Greenville and she finished that Valley. She finished Delta State and then Valley. But you don't hear nothing about USM because he's from, this representative is from Hattiesburg. He's a Republican from Hattiesburg. You don't hear nothing say about close USM down. I bet you if Jackson State's enrollment goes up, if Valley's enrollment goes up, and Alcorn enrollment goes up, and USM's enrollment goes down, would you target them for closure? Oh, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Especially for the two schools in the Delta. The two schools in the Delta serve that region. They serve that region. And the reason why, and I feel like this, like you said, yeah, they want to close, especially with Valley. They want to close Valley down so bad so they could get the land. They could get the land. Um, so and yeah, Brandy. Ooh, yes, this is a good one. I think it's time for them to explore their online, like online, college, online school. For those that can't make it, especially if you stay in like places like Shaw, Chula, um, um, give me another Delta name, Tunica, you know, um, Belzoni, those, those places where it's hard for people to. It might be difficult for people to get to to the university. Upgrade and expand your online courses. Upgrade and expand. It's something that we probably need to do. Upgrade and expand. Oh yeah, we know that. Hattiesburg ain't no shoot. We know that. But I think that not just with those two, but I think all the other schools that are under 7,000 students, because the three major state institutions don't have to worry about that. But expand, upgrade, and expand your online courses. Um, I'm not saying distant learning or nothing like that. if it's a regular student, you want to be a regular student, and it's going to be an issue to get to the campus. Upgrade and expand the online courses. Online people that do their courses online, your enrollment is going to boost up even more because you ain't got to be a student that stays in the dorm. But upgrade and expand. Yep, Valley does have weekend college. Valley does have weekend college, but upgrade and expand. All right, all right. We're gonna keep an eye on this. This is just from the legislature, but once it goes into the Senate has a whole nother deal. I think that, but you know what, Brandon? I think that's pretty cool too to have weekend college. I think that's real cool to have weekend college, to have weekend school for those that want to, you want to better yourself. You're gonna do everything and anything to make sure that you come out on top. Um, and also, I want let hold on, cause I know what's going. I know Timona is gonna tell me you need to talk about this. This contains this has something to do with the bill that to circumvent. But let me fix this. Let me fix this. I don't want to say to close 8 schools. Let's fix this to close 3 schools. All right. Ooh, I'm glad I could do that right there. All right. So when this bill was proposed, this is a proposed bill. This is not it's not allowed, it's not final, nothing like that, because it's sitting in the Senate. They're gonna review it, and more than likely they're gonna shut this shit down. But then again, it's Mississippi. it's Mississippi. But for people who, when this came out, especially on Twitter, y'all, and I love some people that's on Twitter. My guy Randall Barnes, man, that's my guy right there. He Fort Valley alum and everything. He got his own thing, HBCU posts on Sirius XM Radio. Um, very well established. He's getting himself established and stuff like that. And kudos to him. But we cannot keep pushing the narrative when you have not read everything with a fine tooth comb. We cannot push stuff like this, write about it, talk about it, you know what I'm saying, without doing our due diligence and without doing our homework. You get what I'm saying? So we as a person that's in media, and as I call myself media, and and I'm going to call myself media because this is what I want to do. We cannot push misinformation if we don't have our ducks in a row. We don't know what's going on. We haven't read anything about it. We cannot push the misinformation. Because why? Now, once you push it, it just goes back. This goes back to what we was talking about with the St. Augustine University situation. Once this stuff gets out like this, then the naysayers, the people that talk bad, that's our skin color that talk bad about our institution, but ain't set now damn foot on the grass, on the concrete, on the sidewalk, in the classroom, whatever. And say they ain't no good. I'ma send my child to this school right here. But I bet you this, if you took your child to a school that's close to an HBCU, your child gonna be on that campus more than he or she be on their own campus. But we can't keep pushing misinformation. We can't keep pushing false information until you read everything, until you research everything with a fine-tooth comb. And I'm not saying this to be like considering anything. What I'm saying is we gotta make sure that when we talk about issues like this, when we talk about serious issues like this that affects all of our all of our institutions, or just certain institutions at that present moment, we got to make sure we do our homework. We had to make sure we do our homework. I did not go when I got off work yesterday. I pretty much started doing my. I pretty much start doing, what I was going to talk about for today's stream, and then I started researching. Y'all know what time I went to sleep last night? I didn't go to sleep until like 4 this morning. One part because when I get off late from work, I have to be able to decompress, and it's kind of hard for me to go to sleep at night sometimes. But I was up researching, so that way when I get on this thing right here, when I push that button that says go live, I'm not making myself look like an idiot or like a fool, and then get on Twitter and everybody about to come for my head. And I'm gonna be and I end up on HBCU Twitter Weekly by Nick. Shout out to Nick. I don't want to be in that position right there. I don't want to be in that position. But we gotta make sure we do our due diligence to do our homework. Make sure we get our ducks in the rows, cross our T's, dot our I's, and also make sure that even if it's something so serious, we still got to put a positive spin on it, because we don't want to put something negative out there. You want something negative, you go watch Fox News. You want something negative, go watch your local news broadcast. Cause they start out with some negative stuff. We ain't gonna do that over here. I'm not gonna do that over here. We're gonna keep everything positive, because that's what I'm trying to preach. That's what I'm trying to teach. positivity. Made me think I'm made me think I'm Big E from the New Day. I'm a big wrestling fan, so. But that's something that we gotta make sure we do, because if not, then stuff like this, especially y'all know what happened with Jackson State with the issue with Dion this and President Hudson and this, that, and the third. We had to go back there and play damage control. And, we had to go down there, rock people, New Jack City somebody, rock-a-bye baby, put them to sleep. So just make sure, man, if you're going to put some information out there, if you're going to talk about stuff, make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you put the positive spin on it. That's my TED Talk for today. But right before we roll up out of here, one last commercial break. First of all, shout out to my guy EA for the $25 donation. You're a good one, my guy. Even though you're a rattler, you're still a good one, man. Make sure y'all keep putting in the donations, y'all. We'll be right back in just a second.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holliday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
All right, we back. My last my last little bit for today. Let's see. This is coming from let's see. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me go ahead and pull this up. This is coming from Dave Campbell's TexasFootball.com. And of course, yes, I do. I'm going to try to start covering high school sports with Texas. Also try to do some NFL. So anybody want to jump on the NFL train with me, let me know. We can start a podcast. We can start another channel for that, and let's get it going. So if anybody want to do something with the NFL, we can talk about everybody. It just ain't going to just be straight up Cowboy. We're going to talk about all 32 teams in the NFL. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you want to do. But this is coming from down there at H-Town. Hold up, baby. So, UIL issues penalties for state champion Texas high school football program for recruiting violations. Former Galena Park North Shore Offensive Coordinator Andrew Cameron suspended 3 years. Head coach Willie Gaston suspended for 2 district games by UIL for recruitment infractions. The UIL State Executive Committee suspended former Galena Park North Shore Offensive Coordinator Andrew Cameron for 3 years and hit Mustangs head coach Willie Gaston with a suspension for the first 2 district games in 2024 for infractions related to illegal recruitment of players on Wednesday. The committee did not punish the North Shore program. I think instead to focus its judgment on Cameron, who admitted in Wednesday's hearing to recruiting players from area schools, and Gaston, whom the committee ruled was responsible for the program as a whole but did not participate in the violations. North Shore is a 5-time state champion, most recently winning the 6A Division I state championship in 2021. The Mustangs finished as state runners-up the last 2 seasons, losing to rival Duncanville in the 6A Division I state championship game. I wouldn't call that a rivalry. I just say you Negroes beat every freaking year. That's not a rivalry. A rivalry is something like between Duncanville, Cedar Hill, DeSoto. If you talk about Texas football, a rivalry is like Odessa Permian in Midland League, which is now called Legacy. That's a rivalry right there. A rivalry is like uh, uh, in Dallas, a Carter and Kimball, a Skyline, whatever, a Roosevelt Sock, whatever you want to call it. That's a rivalry right there. Y'all just meet every year in the damn state playoffs, in the state championship game. That ain't no rivalry. That y'all just meet. So pretty much that was it right there on the article. So basically, the offensive coordinator is suspended for 3 years. So basically, that man ain't got no job. You ain't got no job. The only thing you can do is teach. And, more than likely, uh, the school district is gonna let him go. I'm sorry. And Willie Gaston, because who is the head coach of the team. He's only suspended for 2 district games, so basically he gets to coach for the rest of the 8 games in the season. I put it like this: I'm sorry, if it's me, and you got in trouble for doing some stuff like that, you get at least half a season. And if it's detrimental to the point where it helped you out to try to get to the state championship game, even though you lost to Duncanville this past year, then you should be suspended for the rest of the season. I see more with less with what they do with less, man. But this goes to show that, hey, man, you're a public school, you ain't supposed to be recruiting. I'm just putting it. I'm just putting it out there like that, y'all. I'm just putting it out there. Let's send this to my guys. And last but not least, y'all. Last but not least, y'all. It's story time. Story time with Doc Holliday. It's story time with Doc Holliday. So, of course, y'all know right now, my situation as far as what I've been going through, what has transpired since in the last some months. I have been, like I said, I've been by myself. I've been living by myself. The last couple of months. And I've been having some issues what we talked about earlier with adulting and paying bills and paying rent and stuff like that. But I've been having some a little bit of financial woes the last couple of months. Only because adulting, child support coming out on my check. So I ain't gonna lie, ain't gonna shoot the coat, ain't gonna do nothing like that. Ain't gonna bust your balls, nothing like that. Pause. But anything to me, like everything helps me try to stay afloat. This past month, so February, I did not get a YouTube check. I did not get one, and it kind of hit me because I rely on that check, even though it might not even be a lot. I rely on it to keep me afloat. But I want to tell people that even wherever you donate, it really, most of it really does go towards keeping this channel up and making sure that I bring to y'all the everything that you want to see and you want to hear, and then some. Um, but also some of the stuff, when you help saying it helps, keep me um what up, Lionel? it helps keep me with like make sure I can get back and forth to work, making sure I try to have some sort of food in my house, make sure that um, some of my utilities to get, try to get paid. It helps out immensely because like it's a struggle. it is so much a struggle, y'all. It's so much a struggle, and I just want people to understand and to know that uh, I mean good. I mean no harm. I'm always gonna be 100 with everybody who I interact, who I talk with. Um, so um, the other setback was, when I did my live for the basketball game, I did not monetize that, so I didn't receive anything for it. And I just needed the help to offset the monetization of that game because I like gotta keep this going, gotta keep it going. So I've been in the lab, I talked to my sponsor merch. Uh, we gonna get our stuff rolling. Um, that way, everybody be good. We're gonna get started getting the merchandise as far as the hoodies to come back out because, by God dang, it was just 90 degrees the other day, and it's dipped down to like 45 today. Typical Texas weather for us. Um, so that's pretty much what I've been going through, and I want to be real upfront and transparent with everybody who interacts with me, who watches this show, who calls me on the phone, who texts me in the group chats. That yes, I'm struggling, but it does not deter me. Uh, it does not try to phase me of continuing to bring quality content for the masses. Uh, Hopefully this goes. Uh, I'm trying to get this. I don't want to say big time, but I'm gonna get there. I got a good team behind me. I got uh, a good group of people who have invested in me and see the vision that I'm trying to see, steer me the right way, and you know, um, just make this uh, channel successful as the other podcasts that I listen to that probably got 40, 50, 60,000, 100,000, a million people and stuff like that watches it. I want to get it to that realm where we get to that point. Um, so hopefully starting in we're gonna start in April, where to lead up towards SWAC Media Day. I will be attending Swag Media Day, so I'm just waiting on for the applications to come through, so I can fill it out, and hopefully, more likely, I should be able to get approved for it. So we try to make sure we can get to Swag Media Day, um, and basically going ahead and start doing the fundraiser for that right there. That's an initiative that I'm going to try to do right there. Still trying to do an initiative, try to put something on the wall right here, but I think more importantly, uh, um, expanding the brand is the bigger name, the bigger thing to do right now, and to expand it, to like last year, go out there, interview all the folks and stuff like that, and make sure everything is good. Appreciate you, Jan. Appreciate you. So, when I say, hey, hit that donation button, and understand, like I said, understand it's the first, about to be the first of the month. I'm about to play my Bone Thugs and Harmony tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but on Friday, which is going to be my off day. So this weekend, y'all gonna see a lot of me this weekend. So we gonna get it going, y'all. We got Swag Basketball coming up this Saturday. Um, Make sure we all tune in to that. I know the MEAC got basketball coming up this weekend also, so we're going to stay tuned into that because we are going into our final week of basketball. And the following week is going to be conference tournament time. Wish I would be able to go there. It was last minute, but it's all good. I can do some good from the house and make sure we get all the good games on the channel. So that's what I want to talk about today, and let everybody know, man. To let everybody know, I appreciate everybody. I'm being as humble as I can right now. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody for contributing and stuff like that. Appreciate my moderators for being a listening ear and coming up with ideas. Cause like I said, I don't do this by myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not do this by myself. If I did this by myself, you see the gray in my beard right here, all this would have been white. All this would have been white. Right here, in the hair and everything. All that would have been white. But we got a great group of moderators, y'all. Great group of investors for this channel. And gonna keep it going. This 2024. We're about to be into March. So we're about to be in 1/4 of the year after tomorrow. So yeah. Shout out to like I said, shout out to all my leap year babies. Shout out to my cousin whose birthday is today, Chaz Lacey. Cuz, love you. I'm a drink a shot for you as always, so you won't feel alone by yourself. Other than that, I would say last Saturday it was a success with my daughter, my youngest daughter Peyton, with her birthday. She enjoyed herself. The best thing about it is she said her daddy was there. Her daddy was there. And other than, you know, getting cake and presents and stuff like that, that's all she cared about. Like, man, that's all she wanted to see is her daddy. My daddy good. I'm here. I'm here. So, um, but yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, EA. You consider my suggestion concerning wild sponsorships from viewers to have their school on the wall, grease, business, etc. Hey, if you want to put your schools up here, it don't matter if you SWAC, MEAC, SIAC, CIAA, Tennessee State, A&T, Hampton, uh, uh, Langston, whoever. Put it right here on the wall because I'm trying to get this covered up. And I'm looking for more sponsors. We get more sponsors up in here, y'all. I am going to get another sponsor. A friend of mine is trying to get me to do a commercial for their friend for beard, beard treatment. So hopefully that come through. But yeah, man, I've been thinking about that. If you're on Twitter, EA, hit me up on Twitter, man. So we can really discuss more about that. All right. Oh, last but not least, I did get word back from one of the color commentators from Mississippi Valley. He hit me up. He's Mr. Andre Williams. He hit me up. He told me he um, he told me why not. So got one half. I need the other half to come through. I need the other half. I need Mr. Brunson to come through so we can get this thing going. Have this good old conversation and everything. So I'm gonna hit him up once I finish off of here, and we can hopefully get that going. I know Valley got a game. There at Pine Bluff, so hopefully we can get that going either tomorrow or Saturday or even Sunday, since I'm off Sunday. Um, so we can get that going. So last four games, yeah, Jackson State, Texas Southern, Jackson State, Prairie View, Pine Bluff, and Mississippi Valley. Last home game is in Jackson, and the last two home games are at Jackson. The last two road games. Jackson be on the road in Texas, making the Texas two-step. But if you got any ideas for topics on the show, hit me up on Twitter, aka X, HBCU _ Overdrive. You can also hit me up on Instagram under the same name, HBCU _ Overdrive. You can catch me on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. And if not so, you can always hit the phone. Just let me know. But I am your boy Doc Holiday. This has been HBCU Tonight special, midday special. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also hit the donation button. You can hit the PayPal at David Smith 1925, Cash App, HBCU Overdrive, and the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Hope y'all like this show. Hope y'all like the new intro that my boy Jay Tisdale brought out, gave to me. If hopefully they don't get copyrighted with this thing. If so, then we're gonna change the stuff up. But I like the actual video intro. But we're gonna end this with, as always, man, look, as always, I'm the voice of HBCU culture. I'm the voice of HBCU streets. Don't get it twisted, because I stand on business. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. We be back on this thing on Friday. Peace.